Hey guys, Andre Woodson. Todd Gurley and Georgia's offensive line have been extremely impressive so far. Let's break down the how and why as we go through the progressions. So here we're going to look at Georgia's offensive line as well as their Heisman hopeful Todd Gurley and break down some of the offensive concepts that they've been running. As we see right here, they're just running your simple inside zone. So what I believe that's taking place is they're trying to run an inside zone. As we can see the offensive line, they're trying to do a really good job with the vertical push. They got their zone combos. They're trying to work their way to the second level. Really do a good job trying to sustain the blocks and allow Gurley to play off those blocks. But what I think is taking place is Gurley giving the false step, basically your counter type of step. That way you have the linebackers who are going to actually move really hard to that direction, which gives the ability for the O-line to work their way up to the second level. From that point, I think that Gurley is recognizing there's nowhere to truly puncture. And once he kind of sees that there's grass to the left, you're going to see that he plants his foot and he's basically going to try to attack that and take advantage of that opportunity to get out there and beat the Clemson defensive unit with his legs. So this is just a combination of field vision as well as the ability to outrun a lot of different players. So not a lot of times you're going to see a tailback who's going to have this vision as well as the speed to break containment and basically capture the edge on a defensive unit. So here we're going to have a great view of seeing just another inside zone by the Georgia Bulldogs. And I think the offensive line does a really great job of getting a vertical push as well as working their way to the second level, which gives Gurley the ability to basically finding a gap and from that gap puncturing. So he's going to press the line really hard, and from there I think you'll see it's fairly easy for him to find a hole and work his way up to the second level, to the third level. So right now what we have is we just have a 42 front. They're basically with a G technique, which means instead of playing a shade, he's playing a one technique. And from here, the offensive line, they're going to have certain calls. So right here, this call would be a Ray call, so they're going to combo work and then make their way up to the Mike. Our front side tackle, our right side tackle, he's just going to have your base reach. The backside guard and tackle, they're going to have what's called a tag. So they're basically going to work together and then from that point work their way to the Sam. And then the backside tackle, he's going to have just your normal rip and pin. So he's going to do a good job trying to seal this off and basically trying to create a hole because the tailback's first steps are going to be to the right. And from there, he's going to attack the inside leg of the guard, basically reading off his block and then trying to press that hole. And then from there, he's going to react and basically trying to puncture one of the gaps from that point. So as you can see, this is a really good concept. Georgia does a really good job with their blocks, basically reaching. As you can see, the center is going to try to do a really good job trying to help the front side guard. Once he realizes that that front side guard has that block, he will work off of that, make his way up, reach into the second level, which would be the linebackers. And then the backside too with the guard and tackle do a good job of working and comboing from there back to the Sam, which creates this huge void and gives the tailback the ability to puncture, get upfield, and work to the secondary. Once he gets to this point, he's pretty talented. I think he'll do a really good job getting upfield and getting a lot of positive yards. So what we're going to see is Georgia's going to do another good job with one of their run concepts. This is going to be inside zone power lead. They originally had a wing tight end. They brought him in motion. After a lot of extensive film study, they recognized South Carolina did not adjust with this type of movement or shift. Instead, they would bump their will out. So this gives them an extra blocker for Georgia. So what they're hoping to accomplish is they'll bring that extra blocker. Now they can do a good job reaching to the second level, and hopefully they manage to puncture in either the A or B gap. So the blocking scheme, our tight end would just do a base reach where he'll work to this actual will. Front side tackle will do a base reach. Our front side guard and our center will combo, and they will do a Lou, and they will work to the Sam. The backside will just try to capture leverage, and then our fullback will do a really good job trying to either attack and the B or A gap, and from that point take on the first defender that shows. More than likely that'll be your Mike linebacker, and the tailback will play off that block. So as we can see right here, that's exactly what takes place. All the offensive linemen do a really good job taking on their combos or their base reaches. Fullback does a really good job taking on the Mike linebacker, and Todd Gurley does a really good job playing off the block, and then from that point breaking a few defenders, shedding a couple hits, and then getting upfield and getting positive yards. Here we're going to see Georgia really like that concept. They recognize that South Carolina did not adjust with that, and they liked it so much that they went right back to it about 3 or 4 plays later. And as you can see in result of the numbers in South Carolina not adjusting properly, they managed to get upfield, work their way to the second level, get to linebackers as soon as they got a hat on each defender. This gave the ability for Gurley to reach to the secondary and from that point score a touchdown. I really like what Georgia's doing right now. They've incorporated multiple concepts into a lot of different looks and formations, and I believe this is going to allow them to be successful as SEC play continues.